We are the #1 business show on the planet with over 1 million downloads a month. Taking the BS out of business for over 6 years and over 400 episodes. You ready to start snapping necks and cashing checks? Well, it starts right about now.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Right About Now. It's Friday, August 16th, 2024. It's our weekly business news of the week. Got the lovely, looking lovely as always, Chris Hansen and the beautiful Brianna Hall. little plot twist there.
Major
What's up, Chris?
plot twist. What's up, Brian? Hey, Brianna.
Hey, guys.
What's happening, people? All you party people?
All the things. Lots and lots of things in the news.
Lots of news. There's lots of news happening. Chris, how's Storm?
Storm is phenomenal as always. Listening from the guest bathroom. Might wander out for his breakfast.
Yes.
In a bit. He's great though.
Yeah. Chocolate Lab Chris has down in Miami in the vacay lounge. He's the vacay dog, you know.
He is.
He's always on vacay.
Big 100-pound big boy. He loves his CBD treats. He's got a good vibe.
Yes.
Good boy.
All the vibes all the time. Hey, it's been a busy week in the news. Lots of stuff happening. Some things, we're always doing, full transparency. We'll be moving to, I think, probably more of a multi-day news segments here soon. Been saying that for a few months, but if I say it, it will manifest. But some of these things happen earlier in the week. You're listening to this hopefully on a Friday, so it's topical on some level. But it's with the election, with business news, with inflation, with rate drops, with all the stuff, it's sort of jam-packed. And so we're always trying to condense it down to what we feel like are the hot topics. And so it's sort of hard to get away from the politics as it relates to business now, that's for sure. And today's news sort of starts that whole train off with what was Donald Trump and Elon Musk's interview earlier in the week on X. And I must say, I just got to come out and just jump right back into the pulpit. It's like, Donald Trump, no matter what you think, okay, what side you're on, what you think, Donald Trump's doing 1 hour X sessions with Elon Musk. And the other side, Kamala Harris, has not been in front of a camera and a microphone in 24 days. And how is this even happening? Like, what? If Donald Trump hid from the news, what would everyone be saying? Like, if he was just somewhere to be nowhere to be found. It's not really in his blood. He's kind of a media tycoon anyway. But what are we hiding from, Chris? Why 24 days not in front of the camera, not saying anything? And I've got a good analogy I'm going to tell, but I first want to know why we think Kamala Harris is avoiding the news.
It's a great question. I would like to know myself because, you even have what I would consider the more mainstream Kamala-friendly news outlets asking this question, where is she? And I find it hard to believe that you're taking this time to come up with your policies when you've been vice president for the last 4 years. I think you probably know your policies already.
Yeah.
I hope. So
you're second in command of the,
of the free world.
Of the free world. And so if you didn't align with your president's policies, you wouldn't be his vice president. And you counseled him for the last 3.5 years. So if you want more of what you got, then you know who to vote for. You can say new energy all you want. But if you're happy with where we're at, vote for what we have. Because that's what you have today. Whether he's old or not, Biden's age and Kamala's, their age difference is minuscule. They have the same beliefs, the same policies, and hers are probably even further, liberal, if anything. But at the same time, I think she's trying to come up with what she's trying to say. And I think I'll use this analogy. And I have 4 boys, all different personalities. And my youngest is, at least right now, he has 4 older brothers. He's kind of a follower. I'll just call him that. I think he'll turn out to be more of a leader as he kind of gets his confidence and he's not around his older brothers as much, but he's sort of a follower. And if I was watching them, like we were there, they were voting on the name of one of their sports teams. And there's like 10 kids. And, they do this in the class too. where, someone will ask, hey, raise your hand if you want this, if you're making a choice. And it's called bias, right? You look around and you see your friends, which friends raised their hand the fastest the most. Nash kind of waits, and then he raises his hand to the most popular thing. I think that this is Kamala Harris. She has been known for indecisive positions, taking late positions at the last moment. And I think it's because she wants to be popular. She wants to say the right things. She wants to do the right things, but doesn't have an opinion and doesn't want to get criticized for it. And so she's kind of waiting to play it and to announce whatever she's going to believe in at the last possible second, trying to take in as much information to get the best possible answer out. And like what people want her to say combined with, because she's flip-flopping on every policy. And then she's waiting to the last second to even make these announcements because she doesn't want to take a stand. If you go ask people in California, like the things that she did, she always sort of threw in her votes at the last second. Yeah. Because she was always kind of like in this flip-floppy kind of, because you don't want the accountability of it. And I think that's what it is.
To be fair also, because your example is perfect about, the voting on the name.
Yeah, the bias.
And the image that came to my mind, I think, was at one of the Republican debates, actually. And that's where, I want to be fair. I think it was one of the questions about, do you support, war, foreign wars? And it's almost like you could see everyone on the stage kind of look around. You had one or two yes or no immediately. And the rest of the crowd the candidates were just looking kind of like, oh, are they going to raise it? Should I raise it? Trying to read the crowd, where it's like, even that, if you're that easily swayed, it tells me you don't even know what you believe in.
That's right.
And doesn't give me confidence as a voter I want to know who I'm picking is standing on what they say they're going to do and they're not easily swayed one side or the other. If you can switch teams that easy or switch beliefs, how do I know what I'm voting for is going to be the same a year, 2 years from now?
What say you, Brianna?
Well, I think that Elon Musk had a really good point. He brought up all of the other leaders in the world, Kim Jong-un and Putin, and how are they going to feel sitting across, the desk from Kamala? Are they going to take her seriously? Are they going to believe in her policies and what she says? Are they going to be intimidated by her as the leader of the United States? And what security are we risking by having a non-intimidating leader, a leader that sits on top of coconuts and laughs like a hyena? Are we going to be taken seriously as a nation? And what is our nuclear security going to look like? I thought that was a very valuable part of that conversation and something that everybody should be asking themselves as you vote in November.
The strength of the wolf is the pack. The strength of the pack is supposed to be the wolf. In this case, Kamala's strength is she would be president of the free world in the United States, backing her up. But the U.S. is not stronger because of her.
Yes.
That's the point. It's like she would only be in a position of strength because she has the best country on the planet, the strongest country on the planet, backing her up. It wouldn't be because of her own backbone. Yeah,
I think it should be in the forefront of everyone's mind, their own security and the security of America, who our leader is, who leads us, and the example that they set on the world stage.
Well, you're getting an example right now, 24 days, no leadership. Every opportunity, because look, no one's at home at the White House. President Biden, nowhere to be seen. Clearly, nobody's at home. She could be showing her leadership right now. And she's not. She's doing nothing. She's campaigning and doing weird hands up in the air with Joe Balls or Walls or whatever that guy's name is, who looks like Creepy Tom from like the guy that you don't want to meet. You walk into Walmart and there's kind of that old man over in the corner. Like you kind of shuttle your kids away from him. It's like he's trying to be nice. Like that's him. That's that guy. I mean, it's like, okay, hey, he's trying to be nice. Like, he's kind of doing like a weird joke with his finger out, and it's like shuttling the kids along. I'm like, okay, don't touch my kids. Don't even look at them. I'll hit you in the face. Like, anyway.
Very descriptive example.
You guys know who that guy is. You know who he is.
Yeah.
You know who that guy in Walmart is. You know him. You're like, oh, he's trying to be nice, but he looks a little creepy. Little creepy. And I'm just saying, look, she has every opportunity to be showing that leadership right now because nobody's there. Biden's not going. Look, she didn't have to compete with the president. Biden's not going in front of the camera. He's done one interview that was done by one of his advisors on CBS. What do you one of the CBS interviewers? It was one of his advisors that did a bunch of layup questions for him. He talked about this loud. You know, it's like nobody's home. She could be. Look, if what they're saying and the energy that is put behind her is true, I have my doubts with mainstream media, but let's just say it is. She could run away with this race if she would be out front and center taking all these, like making her position known and just running away with it because nobody's at home at the White House. She doesn't have to compete with Biden. He's out of the way. She could be enacting everything right now if she had the answers. But we know the answer to that. She doesn't. That's the point. It's never been more clear. And that's the problem. And that's why, you know, like love him or hate him, Donald Trump's on X for an hour talking about the real issues and how to solve them, you know, with someone that actually runs businesses. So I may not love everything Donald Trump says at every single moment, but I respect the hell out of him for having an opinion and having the chutzpah to put it out there and actually having solutions that he's willing to stand behind. And look, no president's going to be perfect and right all the time. That's the problem. She's going to be worried about whether, okay, let me get some counsel. You know how many staff members she would have if she ends up as president? She's going to have more councilmen than, you know, the Knights of the Round Table. It's going to be 57 Knights of the Round Table in her council because she's going to go, all right, what should we do? All right. She's got a 92% turnover rate in her office. Like, Chris, you said it before the episode. Would you say it's a litmus test already for like how smart or dumb we are as a nation?
Yeah, it's like a national IQ test, I feel like.
Yeah.
Which I almost like kind of COVID, I feel like was in a way. This is like round 2 of another. Let's test them again. See what they'll bite on. How gullible.
I'd love to be talking about the policies that she's putting out there. Like, that's fine, especially in relation to business. It's a business show. But, you know, inflation, and it's just so funny. The media, God. I mean, they don't even hide it anymore, right? It's like,
I mean, prime example is like the border, right? It's been her job from day one. She's been there like one time. It's still not a great situation at the border. So it's like, all right, if you were any normal business and you were my manager in charge of managing the border and you failed at that, I would fire you. I wouldn't give you a promotion to a job with more responsibility in charge of more things when you didn't even handle one of the main things that was your job to handle when you came in. That's one example. There's probably hundreds of others.
I mean, the irony with Musk and Trump is, I mean, clearly they don't lie on everything. I mean, electric cars, and we know the differences they have there and, you know, climate change and all that. And so they can put to side those disagreements and a lot of these policies are crazy.
Nothing about Trump's pro-gas policy is good for Tesla. So it's like when you have a guy whose business is predominantly ran from electricity and anti-gasoline who's pushing for Trump, it's like there's something deeper to it. Why? You know, if you're going to jeopardize the profitability of your own business.
I mean, so President Biden's in a bunker somewhere at home I don't know, Camp Kikabaway. I don't know, wherever he's at, doing whatever he's doing, retired, semi-retired. And she's out on the campaign trail. So our tax dollars just paying for her to get elected. Like, is that how that works? Like, what's her job as vice president while she's campaigning for herself? Now, I recognize there have been other vice presidents that have campaigned before. So like it's less like necessarily, but in this case, it's her. So with a president that's not sort of capable, this is back to her. She could be, she's the candidate. Like she could sort of be running the, I mean, I'm not saying I want that. I'm kind of glad she's not. I'd rather keep campaigning. We don't need you running the country, but you know, who is running it? And what, who's paying for that? I guess we are. It's tax dollars. Right? Like when she campaigns for 5 days and she gets paid by us, our tax dollars, to be the VP. Are we indirectly funding her campaign? Hey, these are deep thoughts here by Jack Handy. Anyway, I will say this. The one thing that will pay the bills, if you really want it, is our good partners, Branded Bills. Because look, you want an inflation buster? It's called new business. We don't sit around waiting for checks. We get new business. You know how you get new business? You brand yourself. You get top of mind awareness. You know how you get top of mind awareness? It's called branding. You got to feed the top of the funnel to get to the bottom. You feed the top of the funnels by more people knowing who you are, knowing your name, brand recognition, and at a high level. And that's exactly what Branded Bills does. It's 90 degrees here in South Carolina, but I almost put this hoodie on because it's like a warm blanket around my heart and around my neck. And look, I'm telling you, these are our vibe science. Chris and I do another show. It's all about health and wellness. It's all about good vibes. Be the spark. Hey, we need a spark, baby. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna run for president, maybe. President of the Branded Bills Club. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. So look, this is like, I'm telling you, I don't even want to take this off now. I'm going to leave it on my shoulder the whole episode now because it's so soft and makes me feel calm and warm. I start thinking about Kamala and I get all upset and I just need a warm blanket. I got my Branded Bills. It is the best. I'm telling you, you want new business, you got to get your logo on nice quality merch. They're known for their hats, stay for the hoodies, run for the t-shirts. I'm telling you, they're awesome. We love them. They're the official sponsor of Ryan Alford and Right About Now. Go to brandedbills.com, click that custom button up in the top right button. You're going to thank me for it. You're going to love me for it because all your customers and everyone that's wearing that stuff, they're actually going to do it. Here's the thing. A lot of people, you get merch and nobody wears it. It goes over in the corner. You know what this is? This is not thrown in. This is the not throw in the corner merch. This is the I get worn all the time merch because their design team makes it look right and they'll set you up because they take care of all of our customers. They'll take care of you. Brandedbills.com, official merchandise sponsor of Right About Now. You know you love them, Chris. I know you do. You got the vacay hat on. Don't let me be the only one loving on them.
Oh, amazing hats. Washable, great athletic hats. Great if you're out in the sun. I mean, we've got them. We've used Branded Bills for all of our businesses, and I'm wearing a Branded Bills hat every day. It might be a different name on it, but it's always Branded Bills.
Exactly. That's the only brand that matters when you're getting custom merch. So, I'm telling you, everybody who send them to goes, hey, man, where'd you get that stuff? Well, hey, you know where I did. You've been listening to the show. Branded Bills, baby. That's where it's at. That's the inflation buster right there. The inflation buster is getting new business. Hey, we ain't waiting around for no handouts. We don't need prices to go down. We need new business, and it starts with Branded Bills. All right. What's next here? Kamala Harris's campaign website has no economic plans. I think my team is setting me up for this. You know, I've already been on the soapbox here. Vice President,
more gasoline on the fire. You know,
yeah, it's business, economic plans. Vice President Harris on Tuesday. This is what she selected Tim Walz, but her campaign website lacks information about her economic plans for the country. Hey, it's energy, baby. It's excitement. Vote Kamala. It's just all about the energy. It's all about you know what? Has there ever been a bigger campaign that was all sizzle and no steak?
Talk about marketing.
Dude, marketing. It is. Yes. Congratulations.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah. When in reality, there's articles like this. U.S. credit card holders in crisis as they have faced an addiction to spending, financial experts warn. 50% of U.S. credit card holders carrying higher debt balance today on a month-to-month basis can serve as a powerful tool, but they also represent risks to achieving financial freedom. Says that's what a new bank rate survey unpacks as the Federal Reserve Bank of New York released its Q2 report on household debt and credit, showing that credit card debt is growing.
Yeah.
Prices are higher, making less money to take home. Gas costs more, bread costs more, and credit card debt's up.
Shocker.
Chris, can you believe it? I can't believe it, Chris.
Unbelievable. It sounds like something Kamala would say.
Yeah.
How are you going to fix inflation? Well,
credit card debt's up. I'm like,
yeah.
How are you going to fix inflation? You know, Chris, inflation's bad and we got to fix it.
We're going to fix it better. Okay.
Yeah. We're going to fix it back better. Yeah. It's important. It's important to prioritize credit card debt payoff because this is probably your highest cost debt by a wide margin. At least 50% of Americans are carrying a higher balance today on a month-to-month basis than they were in March of 2020. This is up from just the 44% recorded this past January. These are big.
It's a very big number.
That's a big freaking jump. I'm telling you. Like, all this runs together, Chris. We talk about some of these themes because it's related to business, but all this stuff runs together. Credit card debt's higher. Costs are higher. Employment's slowing, decreasing. Interest rates are too high. If you want the same, you got it, baby. It's already in the office. Just stick with what you got. Stick with what you got. I'm just telling you. It's so obvious. And we're going to keep talking about it because, hey, we're going to use our voice to share what we're going to come to you with the facts of the truth. It used to be no spin zone on Fox. I don't get into the Fox CNN. I don't. I'm not just like a Fox junkie all my life. Like call me Captain Obvious. I'm going to start wearing a shirt that says Captain Obvious. Like I'm not spouting anything off from some radical point of view. This is just Captain Obvious, right? Isn't it? Is there some of this obvious?
Yeah. And inflation itself is just another form of taxation. It's like, we are taxed to the point where there is no return, and inflation is just another form of that.
Yep. There's a strong figure here. Americans owe 45% more now than they did early 2021. And the delinquency rate is the highest since 2011. That's massive.
Just hey, this awkward kisses on stages and hugging babies, whatever you got to do. Energy, no specifics, no plan. Stay the same. I mean, what about the economy right this second do you like? What's going good for you?
That's
Answer
my
that
question. It's as simple as do you have more financial freedom now than you feel like you had the previous administration? And I think, I don't know about you, brother, but everyone I talk to, no matter what business they're in, it's definitely tighter.
Yeah.
Every industry.
Totally. Every cost is higher. And every going out is higher. Every coming in is at least a little lower, if not a lot lower. That's the problem.
And newsflash, people, most of our goods are moved with trucks fueled by gasoline and oil. So when gasoline and oil goes up, because this administration is anti-gasoline and oil, it costs more to get your goods to your grocery store, to the stores near you. It's very simple. You're paying more for goods now. It's so simple when you get to the root of these things.
Yes, it is. And, that's why we're going to keep talking about it. And I think it's going to be interesting to see how the slowdown goes. I mean, there's an article on your the economic slowdown will kind of determine the election. It's like, if it gets a little bit worse, Trump wins, stays the same, Kamala wins. We talked about this pre-episode. It's like everyone I ask to is not happy with where the economy is. And they sort of whether it's in the open or behind closed doors, says they're going to vote for Trump. But yet, and look, we're all in our own bubbles. We all do this. I'm not stupid. It's not a focus group of one. The data says what the data says. But who are these people voting for Kamala and why? Why? What what about what's the direction that you like? Just enlighten me. Come on the show. We'll have Kamala Harris on right about now. #1 show in marketing business on Apple. We're nothing. Here's your invite. Come tell us what it is. You aren't going to do it because you won't go on anything else. You know? Come enlighten us. I'd love to. I mean, no one would roll out the red carpet more than this show would. Give you every opportunity. I won't even talk. I'll just listen. I'll talk enough. That's not an easy thing to do, but I will. Just solutions. That's all we want. Hey, it isn't about popularity. It's about policy. So let's talk policy. But we can't talk it because we don't know what hers is. We have to just assume it's whatever's going on today with the White House. So I don't know. Chris, I mean, are you, you feel inflation? I feel it.
Yeah, man. Of course.
It's like
every business costs has went up in every single one of my businesses. And of course, it sucks when you have employees and their costs are going up, but revenues aren't going up enough to counter that, right? I mean, that's what I think a lot of businesses are in this, smaller businesses, right, are in this pinch of like, people need the money more than ever, but we're getting clipped on our side too. So
that's right.
The only winners seem to be the major corporations that have the leverage and the buying power.
I feel like going out to the grocery store is kind of like where I feel it the most. Like I'll go to the grocery store, and it used to be like, you remember when you go to the grocery store and you roll the cart around and you knew like kind of, oh, this is $100 cart if I ever had one. It thing's jammed up, man. You got groceries falling over the side. You're like, you're trying to keep a box up. You're like, I spent $100 today. That's a $350 cart now.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got it filled that much, I could put 10 things in my buggy and it's $104. I got Cheez-Its in there.
It's $100 every time you go to the grocery store. You run in for eggs, milk, bread, and cheese. That's $100.
Oh, literally. I mean, I feel like, that little guy that's like greeting you and you go into the store, starting handing you a cart. Some stores, some can't afford them anymore. But the guy when he's still there, not the creepy guy at Walmart, the nice guy at the grocery store. And I feel like I just need to hand him a hundo because it's like, there you go. I'm going to spend it. So just go ahead and hold it for me right here. So I don't put it on my credit card and get that balance over 50%. Like, whatever. It's like, come on. Every time you go to the store, if you can, there should be a game.
Today, shoppers, if you can spend under $100, we're going to give you a bonus French fries on aisle 4.
Like, like something. Like, try to spend under $100 at the grocery store. I dare you.
No, you can't.
Like, the only way, buy one, get one free. But they're $14. They used to be $6. Like, is this a deal? It's like that family special, double half special I used to give my family. I'll double the price and cut it in half just for you. It's like, what is this? Shoppernomics. It's just Harrisnomics right here. Chris, I can't even imagine in Miami. I mean, like, everything's got to be like quadruple down there.
It's crazy. I mean, I am on a meal plan. I mean, even that saves me money. If I were to go to Trader Joe's and eat, how I eat and cook it, it would definitely be really expensive. But even where I'm like at Trader Joe's and I'm buying like organic fruit, you know what I mean? Like organic blueberries, and it's like $8.
Yeah.
It's like,
oh yeah. The organic scam is like, and I like to eat organic. I know it's supposed to be better, but it's like, I still question it. I feel like they're just changing the label. Like, this is cynicism in me. Like, I'm like, they just changed the label with the thing. Like, is this really organic?
I mean, they're certified organic, but again, who's doing the certification and what metrics are they using, right?
Exactly. I'm like,
like they're paying someone to tell, okay, yeah, you passed the test, you're certified organic. But I know people, I mean, I have friends that are literally farmers and they grow organic fruit. And even I'll ask them and they're kind of like, like pretty much.
Pretty much.
It's like, I mean,
sort of, not really. And like,
Yeah.
here's the truth though. If you can afford to eat any fresh fruit and vegetables at all, much less if they're organic, you're probably doing better than most. Because people eat just packaged food, you know, the ramen noodles, the mac and cheese, all that stuff. Because it's expensive to eat fruit and vegetables. It's expensive to eat healthy. I think I talked about it, that $17 salad. You know, like, wait, what's on this? Is there gold flakes?
I mean, bro, you go to Chipotle, you can walk out spending $15 on a bowl of rice and meat, you know?
Oh, yeah. It's expensive. The vote with your pocketbook, not your popularity party. Your pocketbook and the policies. So it's an impacting business. Any final words today, Chris?
Everyone have a great weekend. Can't believe we're almost at the end of August. It's wild. Time's flying.
Yes, it is. Kids are back in school already in South Carolina. They started early. Probably just now starting to go back in other areas. So we appreciate you out there. We appreciate Brandon Bills, the official sponsor of Right About Now. You can find us, RyanIsRight.com. All the highlight clips, all the past episodes, all the value. Had some of the biggest names in business, sports, cover the gamut, talking their business journeys, their success journeys, all of that. You find all that back episodes at RyanIsRight.com, along with all the other news articles and soapbox rants you could ever want. Chris is Chris Roby Hansen on Instagram. Go check out Chris. He's prettier on Instagram than he is in person. Let me tell you. And I'm at Ryan Alford. We appreciate Sawyer Rice, our producer. For Brianna Hall, Chris Hansen, I'm Ryan Alford. We'll see you next time on Right About Now.
This has been Right About Now with Ryan Alford, a Radcast Network production. Visit RyanIsRight.com for full audio